Well, they blew up the chicken man in Philly last night. They blew up his house too. Out on a boulevard, they're getting ready for a hell of a fight. Gonna see what them rocket boys can do. There's trouble busting in from out of state, and the day can't get no relief. The rumble fixing out on the promenade, and the gambling commissioner's hanging on by the skin of his teeth. And you say everything dies, maybe that's a fact. Maybe everything that dies someday comes back. Put your makeup on, fix your hair pretty, and make a night in Atlantic City. Hi, this is my first guitar lesson on YouTube. Welcome to this one. I've chosen a Bruce Springsteen song for my first lesson. This is called Atlantic City. It's from Bruce's album Nebraska. Bruce is an interesting guy in the fact that you could look at maybe 4 or 5 or 6 of his albums in his career that you might want to call his masterpiece. He's released many albums which you consider a classic. It's kind of hard to choose which of those would be his best. You'd certainly point to Born to Run and Born in the USA and The River, all his classics. I'm a big fan of The Rising, a fantastic album. The Ghost of Tom Joad is very highly regarded. And this album that we're looking at today, Atlantic City from the album Nebraska, is getting more attention, is becoming more highly regarded recently. That I've seen quite a few articles about what a masterpiece it is. And it's becoming more highly regarded now than it was when it was released. Bruce recorded this album on a 4-track tape recorder in his bedroom. I think over the course of a couple of nights in January 1980 or 81. The album was released in 82. And these songs were intended as demos to guide the band through creating arrangements in the studio. At some point during the recording process, Bruce realized that this cassette tape that he'd been carrying around in his back pocket for months and months was the real album. That because of the material on the album, it deals with a lot of crime, it deals with a lot of economic depression and a lot of characters down on their luck. Because it's a darker album, it did sound better, in fact, just in that very, very stark recording. That Bruce had recorded with just the guitar in his bedroom on a 4-track cassette tape. So that's a little bit of wiki for you for this song and the background of the album. Let's jump right into this, into the song. So we're in standard tuning with Capo on the 2nd fret. Because the album was recorded by Bruce as sort of intended as a guide demo for the band to get through arrangements in the studio, it's very, very loose. The chord progression kind of loops, and there's a few variations, which we'll get to when we come to the chorus. We'll show you a couple of the variations as well. We'll start off with the basic chord pattern, and here we go. So again, capo on the 2nd fret, so I'm going to be speaking in terms relative to the capo, just so that your chord phrasings make it a little bit easier. So for example, we're going to start with an E minor. So the chord voicing that you're using is regular E minor. It's going to sound like an F sharp minor because of the capo. So we start with the pickup note, 2 pickup notes actually. Well, A, E minor, G, Cadd9 G. So one more time, E minor, G, Cadd9 G. G, this is the Johnny Cash G that I'm playing. I think it sounds better. It's a little fuller. I believe it's the one that Bruce is using on the record. That's the 3rd fret on the 6th string. I'm using my 2nd finger. 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. Open 4th and 3rd. The 3rd string being the G, of course. The 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and your 4th finger on the G note, the 3rd fret of the 6th string again. So there's your Johnny Cash G. Cadd9 is your second finger on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, your first finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string this time, still an open 3rd string, 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the B, and an open E, an open 6th string. So it's very, very easy to pedal. You can tell it's very, very easy to pedal between the G and the Cadd9. A lot of songs, of course, use that progression. And you're really just pedaling your 1st and 2nd finger between the 5th and 6th string and the 4th and 5th string. So let's look at that progression one more time. So it's E minor G, Cadd9 G. And he repeats that. E minor G, Cadd9 G. And now, when he gets into the middle of the verse there, and he starts talking about, there's a rumble fixing out on the promenade, he starts pendulum strumming. So these are basically just one strum that he holds for a couple of beats and sings over. Blew up the chicken man in Philly last night. And when he gets to the middle of the verse, so it's down on the bass note, down, up, down on the bass note, down, up. Again, be pretty loose with that. However it fits your singing, I would recommend maybe strumming it that way to help you keep the beat. As I said, it's very, very loose recording because of the nature in which it was recorded. The verse ends on, so he kind of loops that chord progression through the verse, and then at the end of the verse, and the gambler commissioner's hanging on E minor G by the skin of his teeth, Cadd9 D. So again, the same chord progression except instead of resolving to the G and on a D. And the chorus is the same. Well, you say everything dies, baby, that's a fact. Maybe everything that dies someday comes back. D, E minor G, Cadd9 G, E minor G, Cadd9 G. So he repeats that chord progression twice, and the first time he ends on the D, and then the next two passages he does resolve on the G. So one thing that I want to talk about in the chorus, sometimes when Bruce goes back to the E minor, and instead of going back to an E minor, he's actually playing an E minor 7th. So he's going Cadd9 G, and then he's just taking off his 2nd finger and 4th finger. Everything dies, baby, that's a fact. E minor 7th, but maybe everything that dies, Cadd9 someday comes back. D. Now, after the chorus, there's a little bit of a riff, and so let's look at the riff. And these chord progressions, by the way, are in the description with the link as well. So feel free to take a look. By all means, follow along with the lesson, and after the lesson, if you want the chord progressions written out, they're written out in the description of the video link. So again, the chorus. After the end of the chorus, there's a little bit of a riff using again looping between those same E minor G, Cadd9 G, and it goes like this. So again, he's just pedaling the bass notes and then pendulum swinging, and it's much more aggressive. On the live version of the album, there's a live album called MTV Plugged In, where the keyboard player, the piano player, Professor Roy Bittan, plays that riff on piano, and it really, really kicks the song right up. It's a fantastic, fantastic bit of playing from the Professor Roy. But anyway, back to that riff. We'll play that one more time. So it's E minor, and again, just pedaling that bass note, and then pendulum swinging, just kind of down, up, down, up. And again, be very, very loose and ragged with it as well. I don't think, even in the course of this demo, I don't think Bruce really plays it the same way twice. G, Cadd9, G, G, Cadd9 G. So there we go. There's a bridge as well. So the chorus and the the verse and the chorus very, very similar. Let's take a look at the bridge now as well. So and the bridge goes, "Our love is dying and our love grows cold, but with you forever I'll stay." Excuse me. Tonight I'm going out to where the sun turns to. Tonight I'm going out to where the sun turns to gold. Put your stockings on, baby. And that's growing old. And everything dies. Maybe that's a fact. Everything that dies someday comes back. So that progression is in the description of the video link as well. But let's take a look at that. So it's C, our love has died. E minor, and our love grows cold. C, D, E minor. It's a very, very pretty chord progression. Back to C. Tonight I'm going out to where the, and I'm going out to where the E minor sand turns to gold. So put your stockings on, baby. Again, pedaling between the C major and the G major. So put your stockings on, baby. C, the night's growing cold. G, dies, baby, that's a fact. Maybe everything dies. C at 9, someday comes. D, back. And then, we're looking for a job and it's hard to find. Right back into the verse, and then ends with one more chorus. The chorus repeats. So that, take a look at the chord progression in the notes of the video description again, so that you can run through it from top to bottom. You track down the lyrics online, or even better, listen to the song, get the lyrics in your head yourself. So that is the entire song. Super nuts. One other little bit of wiki trivia for you for this song as well. This same chord progression with the capo in the same spot is the same chord progression as Oasis Wonderwall. So. Today is gonna be the day they get it all back to you. Somehow you should have known how, etc., etc. So I don't know. So maybe the next video lesson will be on that one. And we'll just replay this, go back, revisit this lesson a little bit, and add Oasis to it. Wonderwell. So anyway, there's my first lesson for YouTube, Atlantic City by Bruce Springsteen, the Nebraska album. Enjoy the song. I played it at open mics. It's a great song for just the guitar and vocal, and it's a great song just in general. So I encourage you to check out the version from Nebraska. Check out the entire Nebraska album if you enjoy that, and check out the live version as well. Thanks a lot. Look forward to further lessons. If you have any ideas for other songs or any other lessons, please, by all means, put them in the comments. The next lesson coming up, I'm looking at doing a few different things. There may be a few lessons that aren't song related, but maybe based on licks or riffs. Eddie Van Halen lick is one that I'm hoping to put a lesson together for. I'm hoping to take a look at the Chuck Berry riff, which is the Chuck Berry, that 8th note click that Chuck Berry always does. And I may be looking at a couple of songs like a Beach Boys song, maybe a couple of Beach Boys songs, or maybe something a little more modern too. So by all means, please put some comments, some suggestions in. Let me know what you thought of this lesson, what I can do better, what I didn't go over, what I could improve, what you'd like to see, anything like that. So, thanks very much for checking.